Well, tomorrow night in Bridger, the public is invited to an informational meeting to talk about the Pryor Mountain Wind Project.
Q2's Jay Coney is here tonight with an update on this big wind farm that's about to bring a big windfall to Carbon County.
This is just all towers.
Simply put, it's the biggest economic development project ever in Carbon County.
We don't know anything any bigger than $406 million. That's a pretty sizable commitment.
It's here along the railbed road southeast of Bridger that the new Pryor Mountain Wind Project will soon dominate the landscape. 114 newest technology wind turbines will soon be churning out enough electricity to power 76,000 homes.
Road work is just getting underway now, but as early as next week, as many as 50 workers will be involved. By next July and August, at the project's peak, 300 workers will be on site.
Where do you put 300 workers and how do you feed them in a small community like Bridger? And so one of the things we're trying to help facilitate is reaching out to Laurel, Red Lodge, and communities in between to try to find some places for workers.
Big things are going to happen here quick.
County Commissioner Pitts DeArmond met us this week as the construction began.
We have to diversify. So if we have to have coal, petroleum, and wind and water, that's what we're going to have to do now.
Pacific Corp, one of the largest grid owners operators in the West, purchased this project back in May and has hired Mortensen Construction of Minneapolis to build its first Montana wind project. Time, though, is of the essence. In order for the project to qualify for federal tax credits, the big turbine blades need to be cranking by the end of 2020.
Renewables are really the future, and it's something our customers are demanding, and it's something that's also driven by market economics around coal.
Today, Pacific Corp is Carbon County's fourth largest taxpayer. Once this wind farm goes online, it'll be number one.
We're excited about the contributions that are going to be made to our schools, and we're counting on our commissioners to help us too with impact fees.
Bridger Mayor Clifford Schultz is referring to some $6 million in local impact fees that Pacific Corp has agreed to pay over the next 3 years.
I just think it's going to be a positive deal for the whole county, you know, when people see what's going to happen and see the benefits from it. I think it'll come out all right.
We're glad that our wind's going to be put to good use.
But not everyone is tickled about the prospect of having a wind farm as a neighbor, and there are concerns about the impact of the big blades on raptors and sage grouse. In fact, the project design was condensed and altered in order to avoid key sage grouse habitat. It's definitely an interesting project. Now, keep in mind, this project's actually been in the works since 2009, but the big break came when Pacific Corp bought it 4 months ago. That's important because Pacific Corp owns the big transmission line that runs right by the project that comes from the Yellowtail Dam and heads down through Wyoming. This will be the first Montana wind project to use that pathway to get its energy to market.
Now, once the construction phase is finally completed, how many full-time jobs are we talking about?
Good question. Pacific Corp says this project will result in 12 full-time jobs in the Bridger area, and while that doesn't sound like much, I'm told it's the equivalent of adding about 1,000 jobs to the Denver metro area. So in Bridger, it's huge.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Jay.